Ancient Egypt, a land of pharaohs and pyramids, still fascinates us today. Their art, vibrant and symbolic, offers a window into their world. One aspect that leaps from these ancient canvases is their relationship with food. Food wasn't just sustenance for the Egyptians. It was deeply woven into their culture, beliefs, and daily life. Through their art, we get a glimpse into their ancient kitchens, their feasts, and their beliefs about the afterlife, all seasoned with the spices of a long-gone era. The Egyptians were meticulous record keepers, and their art served as a visual language. Tombs, temples, and papyri are adorned with scenes of agriculture, food preparation, and grand feasts. These images offer us more than just a menu from the past. They serve as a recipe for understanding ancient Egyptian society, their beliefs, and their relationship with the divine. The Nile River was the lifeblood of ancient Egypt, and its fertile banks were often illustrated in their art. Scenes of farmers tilling the land, sowing seeds and harvesting crops abound, highlighting the importance of agriculture in their lives. These images weren't just celebrations of nature's bounty, they were symbolic representations of life, death, and rebirth. The annual flooding of the Nile, while destructive in the short term, deposited rich silt on the land, ensuring bountiful harvests. This cycle of inundation and rebirth was deeply connected to the Egyptian belief in the afterlife. Just as the Nile breathed life back into the land, so too did they believe in the resurrection of the soul. This connection is evident in their art, where scenes of agriculture are often juxtaposed with images of the afterlife. Specific crops like wheat, barley, and flax were frequently depicted, showcasing their significance in the Egyptian diet and economy. Farming techniques such as ploughing with oxen and sophisticated irrigation methods were also illustrated, providing insight into their advanced agricultural practices. These depictions are invaluable for understanding the daily life and economy of ancient Egypt, revealing the central role of agriculture in their society. The Egyptians developed a complex system of writing known as hieroglyphics, and food played a starring role in this visual language. Images of bread loaves, fish, fruits, and vegetables were not merely decorative. They conveyed specific meanings and were often used in conjunction with phonetic symbols. These hieroglyphs provide us with a detailed grocery list from the past, revealing the staples of their diet and the regional variations in cuisine. For example, the hieroglyph for bread wasn't just a simple picture of a loaf. It was a powerful symbol that represented life itself. Bread was a staple food in ancient Egypt, consumed by people from all walks of life. Its presence in their writing underscores its central role in their culture, both as sustenance and as a symbol of prosperity. Fish symbols were also prevalent, representing not only a food source, but also the abundance of the Nile. Fruits like figs and dates were depicted in hieroglyphics, symbolizing sweetness and fertility. Vegetables such as onions and garlic were not only dietary staples, but also held medicinal and ritual significance. These food symbols were integral to daily life and rituals, often appearing in offerings to the gods and in tombs to ensure sustenance in the afterlife. Bread and beer were not just staples, but central to the ancient Egyptian diet and culture. Tomb paintings and other artworks depict a cornucopia of foods, including fruits, vegetables, meat, and fish. Grapes, figs, dates, pomegranates, and melons added sweetness to their meals, often used in both daily consumption and religious offerings. Onions, garlic, and leeks provided savory notes and were essential in both cooking and medicinal practices. Fish from the Nile, ducks from the marshes, and domesticated animals like cattle, sheep, and goats provided protein crucial for their sustenance. Their culinary repertoire wasn't limited to simple preparations either. Evidence suggests they were skilled in baking, roasting, stewing, and even fermenting, showcasing their advanced culinary techniques. They used spices like cumin, coriander, and cinnamon to enhance the flavors of their dishes, adding complexity to their meals. These ingredients and methods were not only for sustenance, but also played a significant role in their rituals and daily life, creating culinary combinations that tantalize our imaginations thousands of years later. Food played a central role in ancient Egyptian religious practices. Offerings of food and drink were made to the gods, both in temples and at home shrines. These offerings were not merely symbolic gestures, they were believed to sustain the gods and maintain the cosmic order. Elaborate feasts were held in honor of the gods, with specially prepared foods and drinks consumed by priests and participants alike. Feasts also marked important occasions in the lives of everyday Egyptians. Weddings, births, and funerals all involved elaborate meals, with food serving as both a celebration of life and a way to honor the dead. These feasts weren't just about sustenance, they were social events that brought people together, reinforced community bonds, and provided opportunities for celebration and remembrance. The types of food used in these rituals were diverse, including bread, beer, fruits, vegetables, and meats. Each item held specific significance and was carefully chosen to honor the gods. These rituals were meticulously depicted in art, showcasing the importance of food in maintaining the divine balance and celebrating life's milestones. The ancient Egyptians believed in a life after death, and they made elaborate preparations for this journey. Tombs were not just burial chambers, they were seen as eternal homes, and they were stocked with everything the deceased would need for a comfortable afterlife, including, most importantly, food. Tomb paintings often depict scenes of the deceased being greeted in the afterlife with lavish feasts. These images served both as a reminder of the pleasures that awaited the deceased and as a magical guarantee of sustenance in the afterlife. The inclusion of food in tombs, both in artistic depictions and in the form of actual provisions, highlights the importance of food in their beliefs about death and the afterlife. The ancient Egyptians' relationship with food was multifaceted and deeply ingrained in their culture. From the fertile banks of the Nile to the lavish feasts depicted in their art, food was more than just a means of sustenance. It was a powerful symbol of life, death, rebirth, and the intricate connection between the earthly realm and the afterlife. Through their art, we gain a unique perspective on the culinary practices of this ancient civilization. We see the foods they ate, the ways they prepared them, and the social and religious significance they held. These insights allow us to bridge the gap across millennia, connecting us to the people of ancient Egypt through the universal language of food. Their feasts become our feasts, their rituals our rituals, and their stories told through the art of food continue to nourish our imaginations today.